Heritage is our legacy from the past, what we live with today, and what we pass into future generations. Our cultural and natural heritage are both irreplaceable sources of life and inspiration. Good day everyone, I am Eduardo Cabus, your guide for this tour. Allow me to show and throw to you the UNESCO heritage sites in Asia, South America, and North America. I promise that you are going to enjoy your vacation and tour, so relax and enjoy the view. Let's go! Asia is home to unique geographical features. While over millennia, thousands of civilizations have left their mark on the peoples and the cultures of the continent. Here are some of the Asia's most impressive UNESCO sites, both natural and man-made. Number 1. The Banaue Rice Terraces of the Philippine Cordillera. Located in the Cordillera region of northern Luzon, these spectacular rice terraces were carved into the mountainside over 2,000 years ago by the Ifugao people. The stone and mud terraces feature complicated engineering systems that harvest water from mountain tops. Knowledge of the rice terraces has been passed down from generation to generation for centuries. And to this day, rice deities are placed in the fields to fend off malignant spirits. Number 2. Angkor Wat in Cambodia. One of the Southeast Asia's most important archaeological sites. Angkor Archaeological Park comprises innumerable temples, hydraulic systems, and communication routes of the different capitals of the Mir Empire from the 9th to the 15th centuries. The most notable temple complex of all is Angkor Wat, said to be the largest religious monument that dates back to the early 12th century. Lying deep in the forests of Siem Reap province, it was built with sandstone blocks quarried from the holy mountain of Num Kolan and transported here by raft along the Siem Reap River. Number 3. Halong Bay in Vietnam. The emerald green waters of the Gulf of Tonkin in northeastern Vietnam are sprinkled with awe-inspiring limestone formation covered by rainforest. Legend says that when the country had to fight against invaders, a dragon descended to the sea and sculptured emeralds from its mouth to form a defensive wall. Over thousands of years, the wall crumbled and turned into the majestic pillars of different shapes and sizes that we see today. Comprising 1,600 islands and islets, most of which are uninhabited. The coral's landforms are characterized by coastal erosional features including craters and arches. Number 4. The Great Wall of China. Measuring over 20,000 kilometers, the Great Wall was built from the 3rd century BC to the 17th century to defend numerous Chinese empires from invaders from the north. It comprises a number of fortifications made of earth, wood, brick, and stone, including walls, fortresses, watchtowers, horse tracks, and passes. Not only did the wall protect the country from the conquerors, but it also preserved Chinese culture and traditions. Number 5. The Tropical Rainforest Heritage of Sumatra in Indonesia. Comprising 3 national parks and cover a total of area 2 million hectares. Sumatra's tropical rainforest harbors a spectacular array of flora and fauna, including 10,000 species of plant, 201 species of mammals, and over 500 species of birds. The park's awe-inspiring landscape includes caves, tumbling waterfalls, glacial lakes, and Indonesia's highest volcano, while thousands of species such as Sumatran tigers, elephants, and Malayan sandbear called the forest is their home. With over 1,000 various locations around the world, how about planning your next trip to visit some of these amazing locations in North America? North America is a hugely diverse continent and there is simply so much to explore in terms of natural, cultural, and mixed UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Let's go! Number 1. Old Town Lunenburg, Nova Scotia in Canada. A seaside town on Nova Scotia's south shore, Lunenburg is bursting with charm and nautical history. Quaint crimson-painted wooden houses and historical churches lines in the harbor. In town, galleries, distilleries, and a remarkably informative fishing museum, complete with a boat building shop and whalebones and welcome anglers. In fact, experts say a guided walking tour threading through Lunenburg's perfectly preserved streets is the best way to get acquainted with this former British colonial settlement. Number 2. Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Uncover the birthplace of a nation in sound 27 blocks with a UNESCO designated Independence Hall as its centerpiece. In this modest brick structure topped by a bell tower, the Declaration of Independence was drafted and thoroughly American experiment with democracy began. Take a tour of the historic hall itself, visit the Crack Liberty Bell, or enjoy a number of special National Park Service lead programs. The 4th of July, when Philadelphia's streets burst with crowds, fireworks, and a patriotic parade. Number 3. Monarch Butterfly Biosphere Reserve in Michoacan, Mexico. An explosion of orange and sound of a billion fluttering wings descended on Mexico each year. Scores of monarch butterflies from all over North America return to this protective biosphere. A light theme on the fires and, according to UNESCO, literally bending their branches under collective weight. Why they return in such numbers and remain mystery, but the natural phenomenon draws eco-minded tourists each year, ensuring the site against overdevelopment. Number 4. Boiling Lake and Dominica. This is Dominica's most famous oddity, a boiling lake. The Marca Lake sits in a cauldron and when active is bubbling due to emitting gases from the molten lava deep underground. The lake can only be reached by a trek that takes about 6 hours return. It is not an easy trip, but very rewarding with lush rainforest, amazing views over national park, steamy mini geysers, and of course the second largest boiling lake in the world. The trek goes through a lot of elevation and there are steps of wooden beams. It can get very muddy and slippery. Number 5. Volcanoes National Park in Hawaii. The Volcanoes National Park in Big Island used to be the world famous for its flows of red glowing molten lava. However, the eruption in 2018 put an end to that. Today, the national park is all about crater lookouts and hiking over old lava flows. To see where the lava once flowed, head to the end of chain of craters road. Since the landscape is constantly changing, start your visit at the well-organized visitor center, which has the latest information about what is open or not. The national park is Hawaii's only UNESCO World Heritage Site. South America is a huge continent with a wealth of incredible sites, both natural and man-made. There is no shortage of UNESCO World Heritage Sites to visit on this vast landmass. Here's a rundown for the best ones to head for. Let's go! Number 1. Iguazu National Park in Brazil. The Guaca Falls stretches over 2 miles across Brazil and into the Iguazu National Park in Argentina. One of the world's oldest and largest waterfalls, the spray from the 2,700-meter drop creates a cloud-like atmosphere where animals and plant life thrive. Well, this is a perfect vacation spot for bird lovers to spot over 100 of species. Nature's lovers are delighted to find howler monkeys, jaguar, giant anteaters, and tropical flora and fauna. Number 2. Coffee Cultural Landscape in Colombia. The coffee cultural landscape in Colombia is a cultural site added to the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Colombia. It is not to be confused with the coffee axis and the coffee triangle. This site represents how the production of coffee has shaped and cultural landscape of a region. Coffee is an important part of the cultural tradition in the mountainous region of Colombia. This tradition has been around for many centuries. It developed from small plots in the forest to larger farms. It also signifies how the coffee growers had adapted their cultivation of coffee to suit the mountainous conditions where coffee is grown. The coffee cultural landscape of Colombia is composed of 6 farming sites. Number 3. Machu Picchu in Peru. One of the most famous landmarks in South America is the ancient site of Machu Picchu in Cusco, Peru. This World Heritage Site is an impressive Incan citadel nestled at the high altitude of 2,430 meters and set amongst the postcard perfect Andes Mountains. Wander through sandstone architecture ruins built in the 15th century and watch as clouds roll, an outstanding scenery, giving it a mystical quality. On a clear day, gaze as far as you can see into the surrounding lush mountains. Exploring the cultural heart of the Incan civilization and learn about its agricultural, religious, and political significance in an unbelievable setting is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Number 4. Iguazu Falls in Argentina. Iguazu Falls is one of the best places to see in the world and is sure to impress by its massive size alone. The 269-foot tall Iguazu Falls borders both Argentina and Brazil and is composed of approximately 275 thundering cascades. On the Argentinian side, explore Iguazu Falls National Park inland rainforest along the Iguazu River to take in a spectacular setting. Walk the trees lined with the native flora and fauna, spot wildlife, and stop at various observation points of the falls. The biggest portion of the stunning South American waterfall is a curtain of water called Devil's Truth. This area can be viewed up close and personal via at the park's boardwalks. Make sure to bring a raincoat. Number 5. Petrol waterfalls in Puerto Montt, Chile. Uncover Chile's natural splendor at the country's oldest national park, Vicente Perez Rosales National Park in Puerto Montt. The Petrol waterfalls are photographer's dream, comprised of water in blue-green hues and cascading over basaltic lava and volcanic rock, all while backed by the imposing Osorno volcano. Hiking the park's trails to reach the waterfall will leave you breathless as you admire one of the best places to visit in Chile. You will have the chance to see the myrtle and cinnamon trees, as well as ducks, deer, or even local pumas while exploring this natural treasure. Picnic near the falls, go kayaking in the river, and soak up the most beautiful vistas of Todos Los Santos Lake. That's it for today's tour. I hope you enjoy and learn something from the World UNESCO Heritage Sites in Asia, South America, and North America. Thank you and it bless us all.